Welcome. I am doing Gale in context for my database of the week class. This is kind of like, in a way, I've been thinking of as like a very scholarly sort of Wikipedia. This is a collection of resources geared specifically towards K through 12 as well as sort of like early college years as well. And it's a really great curated collection of ways, and they say it in the name of like kind of placing things in context for students, just sort of like hopping into these sort of issues. So we see if we scroll down, they talk about being able to like recover unfinished learning from the pandemic and the time away. So it's sort of supposed to be sort of like juicing our academic returns here, and is very biography heavy as well as world issues. You can see literature as well, So I just recently became a part-time reference librarian at Rowan College, and so for our database of the week assignment as well as other search activities, I've tried to use the opportunity to familiarize myself with the databases that the library has. And since this is more of an informal kind of video for us in class, I also wanted to share like some sort of like quirks and irks that I have sort of about the system in general here. We're on Rowan College's website, and in order to access the library, we need to go to Student Services and then go to Library. I really think it's important to try to advocate in any way that we can to be front and center. I know that sometimes this, even though this is just one hurdle, can make it a little harder to find. You may start scrolling down and not be able to get to the library. And just being at like the front and center of people's minds is a great service to patrons as well as to the field in general. So library, and then in somewhat more veiled language, their databases are in articles and more. And then I am under the Gloucester County campus, and so I'm already logged in here in my other tab. I also find this a bit confusing, not to keep picking on the website here, but all subjects brings up what is truly databases about all subjects, but it's not all databases. So there are still more to be had under their multiple subject headings here. So I'm going to go to Gale into context, and again, I believe I'm already logged in. So great. Anytime that I'm kind of hopping into a new environment, I like to take a second and sort of familiarize myself with the user interface. So I see that they have a rotating banner of cascading thing of hot topics right now. There's search, just an easy search, nice kind of universal search, but also advanced search, which I'll go a little bit into. And then I see that I can get link. This will actually just give you a link of whatever page that you're on at the time. And so it kind of gives you a little intro of what you're going to get when you're reviewing the rest of these. But we can scroll down and see that they also have sort of just broad topics. And so these are really great for student assignments because, again, a lot of time teachers are assigning these. What Gale in context does when it's a subject that maybe a student might not be familiar with, which is often the case, they need a place to start, and they don't really have many like footholds. So this is a really great place for them to do that. So, for instance, one of my first e-reference questions through the user chat at Rowan College was a student asking about Oscar Wilde, and they wanted to know how to get started. So I thought, oh, hold on a minute, and let me pull up Gale in context and see what they have for this. And then I asked a couple more questions, and I said, what about Oscar Wilde are you considering? And they basically just wanted an idea of uh, the kind of world events that might have helped shape Oscar Wilde. So I recommended that they check out Gale in Context, and then specifically the biographies, and they can check for shorter biographies and just start getting a sense of what major world events would have helped shape them. I did also think to recommend. I kind of hesitated to do it at the time though. Just Wikipedia in general is a good jumping off point for that. And then in another one of our discussions, with the Dr. Valenza's Voices of the Week, Voices of Search series, talked about the value of like providing 3 strategies when you're doing that. So I had thought, oh, what else would I offer? But Gale in Context is really great as a recommendation for this. They do tout that they're very like multimedia heavy as well, so they do have a lot of great images on here. And so in this case, Oscar Wilde doesn't have his own heading, but if I go back, they just have regular topics of interest. This is a great one. And then if I wanted biographies, you could see that they have, a lot of these are going to be pretty commonly assigned in the classroom assignments. John Locke. And this is again provides really great jumping off points. Let's just pick John Locke here for example. So again, not an overwhelming amount of resources. And if you were to sort of just send this person, I thought just to like say EBSCO, we have this would just give them everything, and I thought that would probably be way too much. So they seemed happy with this. I talked to them a bit more, and this seemed to be the right fit for that student to check out. They were happy with that, and I recommended kind of a pearl growing strategy at the end. I said, like once you go through the biographies, then you're going to have a little clearer idea, and I recommend that at that point they could maybe have moved on to more of the specific kind of scholarly databases if they had something more specific, and you just reach out and let them know that we were still available. So yeah, Gale in Context was a really handy thing that I had just kind of like become a bit more familiar with myself before that became a nice tool to kind of pass on. Before we close, I just wanted to mention the advanced search. I thought was pretty user friendly. So just easy Boolean searches. They make it nice and clear what you're doing. They give you a fair amount of field operators here to limit by. You can add a good number of rows. I haven't hit a limit myself. And then, they give you an idea of the search tips, like kind of front and center. And then this would provide a drop down here that gives you a bit more of an idea of what that is. And then, again, I just thought this was nice and user friendly. Everything has a little, pop up of what it does. And then you get to decide if that's for you. And then also the Lexile measure, which I thought, a lot of students wouldn't really understand, but maybe, if you were, say, in a school environment or something like that, you could have a teacher assign a certain search, or you could help the students, say, like, look for a certain material that's just in a certain recommended reading range, if that's something that you wanted to do to help them along with that search. Because Gale in Context does have quite a bit material, but I'm specifically in the college edition. This has been a really interesting kind of resource that I've enjoyed getting to know more for the purposes of this video, but also again to help students out at the college, because it seems like it's going to be a pretty commonly referred one at my reference desk here. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great night. Bye.